3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by to this technical analysis video. I'm going to kind of do a foundational video on Bitcoin long-term and Litecoin long-term. And, that's kind of what I wanted to base this video on. Obviously, last night we were trading above 200 and I did a video on how I could kind of possibly seeing us break that support again and travel back into the 150, 180 range. So right now we're at 187. I don't have a ton of comfort above this 180. I see way more support at 150 and can definitely see us travel. I still see us possibly traveling in that zone. So if you're looking for a good buying opportunity, I would keep an eye on it, especially tonight. And we'll just see what happens because nobody knows. And again, thank you for watching the technical analysis videos for those of you that kind of have that same intrigue into patterns and history like I do. Because, sometimes I get comments and people are just like, they kind of mock me like, oh, so you have no idea, like you really have no idea what's going to happen. And like, obviously, no, I don't have nobody has any idea in any market ever. If that was a thing and if people actually had like the perfect algorithm and the perfect trading strategy, I mean, there'd be a lot of, trading billionaires, and it doesn't happen. So again, just another reminder, if you're watching this and you hate technical analysis and hate what I'm saying, just know I'm not predicting anything. I'm not claiming to know that I know what's going to happen. I do this for fun. I do it for context to my own decisions that I make in investing and trading, and I think it does help, but I'm not claiming to know anything. So that's that. Here, let's jump into the Bitcoin chart. That's really what I wanted to look at as a foundation to this video and what I'm thinking. So if you look at Bitcoin, if you look at the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin, it's historically shown a nice area of support and also just a nice area of reference to kind of see what Bitcoin is doing. The last couple weeks, it's kind of felt like, oh my goodness, we're really falling. Bitcoin's falling, Litecoin's falling, things are bad, we're in the red. But when you zoom out again and you just remove all that noise from the equation and you zoom out and you're just like, oh, this isn't actually that bad where we are right now, is it? It's not. Look how many times this has happened before. And it just provides, a foundation to what is happening in the market. And with that being said, what is happening? So if you look back, and this is going back to, let's see, this is around June 2016. You see these breakouts that happen in Bitcoin, and then you see it get pulled right back down close to the 200-day moving average. So this breakout, 45%. This breakout, 59%, 42%, 54%. And it gets pulled back generally, probably 20% away from the moving average. So, in this case, it pulls away from the moving average by 54%, but gets pulled back to around 20%. Breaks away 55% again, pulled back to around, 20% or so. So what happened recently is Bitcoin really, we know what happened. We hit 20,000 or so, and it pulled away from the moving average by a lot. And what is happening now is it's getting pulled back as it has in the past. So the only difference that I see right now is just the fact that we're still like 35% above the 200-day moving average. So if history would repeat itself, and if a pattern would continue as far as this range goes, where would Bitcoin trade above the moving average if it was at 20%, just say? And that 20% leaves us, at around $8,500 Bitcoin. So I'm not saying, it's going to do that. It could trade closer to the moving average, and it could be, 10% like it did here. It could be a little bit higher than 20%, but my point is right now we're at 35%. So I could see us kind of like, and we already did. We tested that 9K range, right? And that might have been it. That might have been, that might have been that 20% that we dipped down to. However, I'm not sure, and nobody is. However, I think this is an awesome reference point for the consolidation, and this is my entire point, that is taking place in Bitcoin. And it's just a reminder that it's a very good thing that this is happening. And it's a very good thing it happened there and there and there and there. We don't want things to get so crazy that we're trading, you know, way higher than we should be. We always want to have just a nice, steady growth in Bitcoin. It's a healthy thing. And that's kind of my point for this video. So I did want to touch on last night, trading above 200, and now we're back in the 185 range. And I wanted to talk about Litecoin very briefly on the short term, which is now. But visiting the long term, I'd like to really revisit the June area in 2015 with Litecoin, just because it paints a nice picture of what we could be looking at right now. This run up that we had of over 300% or so in Litecoin had a pullback, which is normal again. And just the pullback lasted, you can look here, around 70 days. And it was healthy. And then we really started seeing, you can see the upper and the lower Bollinger Bands really starting to constrict. We saw some consolidation, and there we are. We're trading in a less volatile, way more steady environment right here. And that's what we're all waiting for right now to happen. Right now, it's like, when will this constriction of this upper and this crazy lower Bollinger Band start to happen? When are we going to see the true consolidation here? So back here, we saw it took around a little over 2 months, and right now we're around 42 days in, and we're trying to find our support areas is really what Litecoin's been trying to do. We've had a ton of resistance, the last week or so, really trying to stay above that 200. And that's why realistically, and I'm just going to throw this out there, not to be negative or sound like, I'm bearish on Litecoin, but I could definitely see us trading in the 150, 180. I see a lot of support at 150 for Litecoin. I'm hoping we can break above 200 and find a nice steady trading pattern above 200 and a nice steady channel above 200. However, I could see us finding that right above 150 somewhere, which isn't bad. It'll give people more time to buy more Litecoin as we really start 2018. Now, with all of that being said, that's just my thought. That's my opinion. I'm always looking for more buying opportunities for Litecoin. So in general, I don't think it's a bad thing, because long term, I'm very bullish, very, very bullish. And 2018, I think, is a great time for Litecoin, a great time for the technology and the partnerships and everything happening. And with that being said, this is kind of based on history, what I'm talking about. This isn't taking into account, the emotional aspect of the market, right? News coming up, hype happening. So we could break 200 tonight. We could be at 250, tomorrow, and that's just what could happen. Nobody knows, and I'm not claiming I do. These are just my honest thoughts I want to share with you, and hopefully you can take them and work them into your outlook on the market, your outlook on the price, and how you want to trade and invest. And I hope it helps. I really thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for coming by. I will see you on the next video. Have an awesome day, and God bless.